When it was the core old village, you had Seven Tunnel Junction, which was a huge junction. A small village, huge junction, 8 shops. Then the junction shut down, you had 2 more estates, 1 post office that was closing. So you've got more people that haven't known the old village and the history of the old village and didn't know the post office when it was a really fabulous going concern. It was wonderful. You pop in for one thing and 45 minutes later you'd be leaving because you'd seen so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. It was wonderful. But at the end, the post office was just... it was sad.
Slowly but surely we've lost other things. You know, we've never really had a focal point. There's never been anything where the community can latch onto. Yes, we've had a football club, but nothing's ever... it's been a little team. There's nothing comes together. Yeah. Nobody comes together in the village.
It's like as if to say Rogiet wasn't worth it. But I felt that it's not necessarily, they always put people, it's people that's in Rogiet are worth it.
When we moved here just over 3 years ago, there was not a lot around, and when the idea of bringing people together came along, I thought, wow, that could be something really, really exciting.
So the post office on the road shut on the Tuesday, and we opened the cafe on the Wednesday.
The 9th of September?
Yeah.
And because the church hall is literally in the centre of the village, it just seemed like the perfect place to put it, so people could come together in the centre of the village and have that as their hub, so to speak.
It's all very well having the great idea, but you have, as you've shown, you've had to go and find out practical information. You have to do the market research. Yeah. So what you found out, though, was that people did want something.
They did.
Even
the new estates said it would be lovely to have something. Yeah. Trying to go and do a questionnaire and convince people this is what it used to be and this is what we'd like to see again was really difficult.
And out of 750 homes, we managed about 200, I think, to questionnaire. Because we did go all the way up to some very Welsh-named town to go and see that community shop.
That was wonderful.
With Darvo, with Joe Gillard.
And they managed to take over the shop that was there. And what they've created was inspirational. It really was.
I had an email from the post office saying we are hoping the post office is now closing and we're hoping to put a van service in the village twice a week. Would you have any ideas of where we can plug in our internet line? And I went, yes. And then that was it. We said we will set up a cafe at the same time as your opening hours.
What were all the things we had to do?
I had to speak to the church, because it's the church hall.
That was the church.
Yeah, that was it.
They gave us 2 months free rent, and they're also very... they're only charging us a minimum amount for electricity and gas and wear and tear, because we have about 40, 50 people walking through the door. And then we had, obviously, Monmouth Housing Association, we were able to apply for a grant. Without that, we probably wouldn't have made the profit that we're making at the moment, so it would have been a bit slow starting. What I've found is that we haven't actually asked, apart from one grant.
That has been the strangest thing from day one.
We've been looked after. Yeah. We've been looked after by however it's happening, and we're thoroughly grateful and thankful for.
The cafe very quickly sprung out as being an area that we'd like to support. They work in the area, but they get no financial gain for it, so everything they do in the community is purely for the community. So it's not for themselves, it is for the community, and we thought that needed recognising, and that's why we're here today, to try and spend some of that money into the community.
Yeah, we just gave them some ingredients for the cakes originally, didn't we? And now every week we sort of supply the bread and the milk for the community cafe, and then
also we're fundraising for them, that they can stretch their funds a little bit further. and help more people that are in the community. We've got the little post office, it's outside, and it's really needed and valued around here for the customers. You know, we're always afraid that we're going to lose systems and support.
Yeah, facilities, isn't it?
Facilities in the area.
It's about keeping those facilities in the community, but also having somewhere for some people to meet.
I was given the opportunity to get some volunteers to come and help on the day. I immediately sort of sprung into action and thought I could do that myself as well. I'd like to see actually where the money's going and where's all the support the community is going out. And to be here today and seeing so many people sort of start to turn up and the difference it makes in all the smiley faces, I think it's really important.
And this is an ideal opportunity to sort of get people together, you know, and not them being sit at home and drinking a cup of tea on their own, and you know, time to have chat with their friends and get to know new people as well.
I think I've got my marigolds ready to start doing some dishes.
I must admit, I think that we're being helped because we're new. We've got to establish ourselves, and maybe come a few months they'll move on to want to help someone else.
Okay.
And that is fine, that's fabulous.
That's actually
They've helped
a
us.
really sensible way of becoming sustainable, isn't it?
The nursery that is connected to the local primary school, they suddenly appeared. One of the helpers did they bring six the first time?
6, yeah, 6 every time.
I work in the nursery that's just around the corner and we come here a lot. It's nice for the communities to get together, and all the children love seeing all the generations, and they love going to the post office, the mobile post office, and getting their stamps and meeting Tina, which is really, really nice.
They just came through the door with this trail of little kids that are 2 or 3 and are just fabulous. As they walk in, they just wave at everybody, and everybody's waving at these little ones.
They always have a biscuit and a glass of squash, and they just like to have a little play and talk to all the other people that come here, really.
I like it.
What do you like to do?
I like playing.
And who do you meet in the post office? What's her name?
Tina.
Tina. What do we buy today? Remember?
That Monday.
They have their own little table now, don't they?
With their own tablecloth.
With their own tablecloth.
We believe that little people are just as important
Absolutely.
as big grown-ups.
That is the delightful thing, that from day one we have had such a broad aspect of people coming into that cafe, people that we've never seen before, are from the village, but we've never even seen them.
The first week that was opened, I have to say, was the week that the Cheerful Club was on holiday. They go for a week's holiday. And we actually said, that's good, because I call it, we go in cold turkey. We'll always have our followers, and part of the Cheerful group will be our followers, because they'll know we'll put on a good spread. So they weren't there, and we were, 40 plus people through the door on our first day, and we hadn't offered anything free.
No, what we had done was we had really, really promoted it, hadn't we? Yeah. You have to shout about what you were doing. You created a logo.
Yeah. Ooh,
and
the
a lot
logo,
of these things, I have to say, were things when I told you about, and you said, no way, we're not going to do that, and we can't. But I think you proved that you are more than capable of doing it all. What was interesting to me was that when I first met you, I could see that you really wanted to do something for the village, and I could see as well you needed to do something for yourselves, to have something outside of all the other things that go on in your lives, and that's important.
Although we've gone down a path and we've taken different routes, it's just come to what was the right path in the end,
and
for us.
What we're able to manage in
and what your goal was, just reminding what you said to me, was you wanted to be able to have a space where the community could come together.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just love the idea that you can apply for grants and for the community, and that we're able to build on that. All the clubs that go to the church hall, like the bingo and the Cheerful group, the Mothers Union, WI, all those, we want all those people to be able to maybe advertise their clubs and things, so that they get more members in, so that the village is getting bigger and better with social things.
For a person of my condition, stature, it's very good to get out and to get out into the cafe and spread the word what we're about. to bring everybody together in the community and show what Rogiet's about, really.
So we have our community table that people do their own crafts, can have this community table free of charge to advertise their stuff and sell their products. We have the allotments bring any spare veg, so
we can sell at 50p,
sell, yeah,
50p a
50p
bag.
a bag.
So nothing too we're not trying to make everything expensive. We really want to make it very reasonable, and whatever profit we do make will then be put back into the village. And I'm sure that we'll get more volunteers on board, because I think a lot of people might shy away at the fact, I don't want to work in a cafe, but there is so much more work available if they wanted a couple of hours a month even to do a particular job that's not involved in serving in the cafe.
It's the best thing that's happened in Rogiet, as we no longer have the Rogiet Arms, the pub. We have the post office van that's parked outside. So, you know, there's lots of things going on week in and week out. And in the events where we forget anything, the very next day we have a coffee morning where we can discuss what we want and what people need, and then we try and put it into practice the following week or the weeks coming. And you know, and we've got big plans.
We might be sitting here in 10 years' time, still in the church hall doing our cafe on a Wednesday. We may. But what we would like to do is be moving and getting into a bigger property within the village and making it into a form of a hub, so that there is a few computers in there, there might be a meeting room there, and making it
community pub.
Yeah, it could be all sorts of things. I guess our next little step is to decide whether we're able to open up one Saturday a month.
It's bringing those people that aren't at home on a Wednesday morning, that are working Monday to Friday, or
we could turn it into very much like we could get a couple of newspapers there for people to, if they want to come in on their own.
Things are going to happen, so you know, watch this space.
Helping at the cafe and helping run the cafe, it just puts me back into being Faye, into the world. And it's a small village, but it's my world and I love it.
I enjoyed that. I've got an idea, and somehow or other Sarah seems to say it's possible, and then we're able to do it. So it's getting the encouragement from Sarah that has helped us to produce what we're doing, because I think when you're out of your the career that you've basically been trained up to do, and you've been out of it for a while, you kind of think, can I do it again? Maybe I can't. You do doubt yourself. So the cafe each week is saying, I've not done too badly this week. Oh, we've sold all the cakes. Or you get people's feedback on the bacon rolls, and I think to myself, well, I'm only frying 2 pieces of bacon, putting it in a buttered roll and putting it on a plate, but people are saying, the rolls are lovely, the bacon's lovely, and all those feedback coming back to us kind of gives us encouragement, and the encouragement to know that we're doing a good job.
It gives me an excuse to bake, which I love. It gets me... I'm a full-time carer, and it just gets me out of that environment. I take Mum with me, but it takes me out of that environment. I know she's safe there at the cafe, but it puts me in an environment that I'm back on my own territory.
Again, this helps me do other things other than be just a carer and a mum. Again, I become a loner, and I'm just happy to do it. I enjoy doing it. And you think, on the weeks when it's really busy and you're thinking, I've got all that paperwork to do and all the rest of it, I do think, but once I've completed the paperwork, I wouldn't have had to do that if I didn't have the cafe to do it. So that's what makes me tick, pushes my button, whatever you want to call it. Now, wouldn't you like to have a smell TV right now?
It smells gorgeous.
It is,
really
isn't it?
It is
I'm
lovely.
kind of. It
I
is
did say
looking.
to Tom, could you get smell-o-vision?
Smell-o-vision. No,
So,
no.
wasn't available.
You would,
On the
wouldn't you?
MCC
One
budget.
day.
You'd have to have a scratch card, I think, and you just say, if you're watching this programme, go and
This
buy
is
this
now
scratch card.
Number
and there's a
A.
and you'd have to go scratch 1.
What are we doing here?
You can cut that bit out, I'm sure.